Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you know when we have another one brewing. This week's movie is going to be Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Now, fellas, how long is it going to take before we talk about how this movie has nothing to do with their combined playlist?
I mean, we can go ahead and talk about it. It's pretty much just Michael Cera just coming up with his own playlist and then this other bitch stealing it.
Also, it's like 40 minutes of music and just 20 minutes of him crying at the end of the CD.
Oh man, like that was one of the most hilarious bits to me whenever it's later on and they're listening to the CD and he's crying at the end. Oh, that was I'm sorry compilation number 12, and it's like fuck dude, you've made 12 of these things.
There might be more. He might have just been listening to number 12 at the time. Numbers 14 through 17 are under the seat.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Oh.
But yeah, this film came out in 2008. I saw it back when it came out. Didn't remember it that well, but once again, Michael Cera is dating a high schooler.
Whoa! Another Michael Cera vehicle. The only difference is this one is just kind of whatever.
Super whatever, honestly. Super whatever.
It doesn't have the class or pizzazz of Scott Pilgrim, and it doesn't have the sarcasm of Juno. This is just kind of hey, did Michael Cera do anything this Thursday? No? Yeah, okay, let's make a movie.
Okay. These kids, number one, look drunk for real through the first half of the movie. Everyone is super sweaty and greasy, and I was curious as to why they left them all like that.
I don't know. Maybe they're going for realism or whatever, but half the time I'm like, okay, she's drunk. Other half the time I'm just drunk acting is real bad.
Yeah, they're just trying to get some of that authentic New York City grime sweat going on, because New York's a dirty city, and they want this to be about New York as much as it is about the kids.
Oh, they want it to be really about New York, but everything just kind of screams Toronto.
You think?
I know.
Jeez Louise. You can sum this up pretty quick. Dude simps over chick, meets new chick who's cool, and happily ever after. Thanks, Happy Madison.
Yeah, all you gotta do is hook up with one of those broke girls. Boom. Fixed.
Bingo.
But yeah, before our story even starts, Michael Cera has been dumped by his high school girlfriend, Tris, who I don't even know why they were together. They don't seem like a good match to me, but whatever. Michael Cera, as you said, super simping over her.
She looks like Riley Reid, so I can get it.
I definitely get it, yeah.
I don't know, his ex or whatever. I just don't understand. She's very hobbity to me. A lot of forehead, small face. Just not my thing.
Have you met me? I'm a hobbit myself.
I mean, I have seen your feet.
Oh, Lord of the Dings.
What?
Anyway, so once again, he's dating a high schooler, and these girls go to a Catholic private school or something. I don't know, just like fucking Knives Chow, and he's got a type.
Oh, agreed. And it's barely 17-year-old girls.
Yeah, she was just 17. You guys know what I mean.
Is that Winger lyrics?
Oh, fucking Winger.
Holy shit. Why can't he have a scene in this, or a spoof of himself, where he's Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused, and it's all these Catholic schoolgirls coming out. He's like, I like about these Catholic schoolgirls. I keep getting older, but they stay the same age.
But then he's just like, all right.
Dude, okay, so him simping hard on the phone was so embarrassing.
Oh, yeah,
He's sitting
really
there
was.
Hour-long nonsense message, and then he deletes it, and it's just fuck.
There's a lot of cringe in this. I'll tell you that. This came out in 2008. I was probably 23 when this came out and I saw it. So I would have been sort of right around the right age group and right time group to see this. I remember it being okay then, but man, there's a lot of cringe in it this go around.
Yeah, for sure. After a while, you're just man, just fucking tear your dick off and throw it out the window. Goodness gracious.
I get the Michael Cera character, in the sense of I understand what he's trying to portray, but fuck, dude, every movie you're this kid.
Yeah, for sure. And I know he's almost trapped in a time capsule where he plays 18 to 25 or whatever. But everybody in this movie are clearly just like adults, and they're supposed to be young people, and you're just like, well,
18 going on 30.
yeah.
Yeah, that kind of goes in with a point that I was going to make. There is a specific time when this movie could be made and could be good. It applies to the actors too, but that specific time is like 8 years before this movie actually was made. Like when, the big indie rock sort of garage rock revival was going on in New York City when it was in its heyday, and you could just follow around like secret shows or whatever, during the time of like the Strokes and Interpol and all of those bands when they were really coming up. By 2008, I feel like it was just like, I'm not going to say over, but like it was definitely past popular.
It kind of makes you think like this is a movie that was kind of like sitting on a shelf somewhere, and they're
Yep.
just like, well, we kind of have to make it now.
We're running out of time. People are starting to forget who the yeahs are. We got to go.
Oh no.
I will say this though, the pacing of this movie is the true star. They know they're making the tried and true rom-com. The same old formula: boy meets girl, they fall in love, he loses the girl, hilarity ensues, gets the girl back, Happy Madison, yada yada. But you literally get 6 to 7 minutes of a movie that just says, "Hi, we're kids. I broke up with this chick. This chick has a crush on me. Oh, look, we're all at the same bar at the same time," and the rest of the runtime is just the misadventures that they have, which is wonderful for pacing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Basically, Michael Cera is in a band again, just
As you
like
do.
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, as you do. He's got some friends. They are all gay, and they are
As
in a
you
band
do.
together called the Jerkoffs. They are, I guess, self-described as queercore. And they have a gig tonight, so they've got this gig, and I don't know where I was going with that, but they're gonna look for this band called Where's Fluffy, who's playing a secret show.
I mean, look, shout out to the band for getting stuff together at the last minute. I mean, hell, they even had to like drag a drummer along. It just turns out to just be like in a kid's electric drum kit.
It's fucking hilarious, by the way, whenever he can't figure out how to turn it off. I had an experience very similar with that.
It was kind of funny how like the crowd immediately turned on him. Like it's been
Oh,
2 seconds since the band stopped. They're like, "Fucking boo, dude!"
What'd your mom get that for you?
And he's like,
What-
"Yeah."
Did you guys notice also that we got like 8 to 10 minutes of the movie and there were still credits rolling?
Yeah, I did notice that actually. I drew a line in my notes, and I was like, "There's still credits."
I mean, the hand-drawn stuff takes a really long time. Okay, and this was like 1-to-1. They had to draw it as the movie was going along.
Just throw them in there, goddammit.
Yeah, and this is right around the time we find out Nick drives a Yugo, which will be very prominent because, Yugos are quirky or something, right? I don't know.
Yes, it does have like one of the best jokes in the movie. I feel coming up. We'll get to it, but like, it's pretty sad when the car is more funny than your leading man.
Oh, facts. So I don't want to skip over this either. The jerk-offs, number one, are fucking awful. Awful. Absolutely atrocious. And their lyric is, "Fuck a man."
Fuck it, man.
Fuck the man, fuck the man. I want to fuck that man. I don't know. Like, for what it is, I think it's probably the best band that we get an actual live performance of in this movie.
Yeah, I'll give it that. They're not
Look,
like
the
completely.
rapper's not bad.
I think the rapper is all bad.
No, the rapper's bad, but the performance by his one fan is incredible.
Oh,
true.
bro, Die Hard.
But yeah, like they play the little shtick or whatever, and they're done with everything. They go into the crowd, have a drink, what have you. They mingle a little bit, and then Michael Cera realizes like, oh no, his ex is there. Oh shit, now he's got a new guy. I think his name was like Gary or something. Oh shit, there's Gary.
And he's just a snail.
Okay, we get introduced to Nora and the blonde. They're here at the party too, and
The
this
blonde.
listen, Pukey Pants is what I'm going to refer to her as because she's just a hassle this entire movie.
Yeah.
She's one
And-
of like 3 characters that I actually know the name for. There's Nick, Nora, and Caroline, and then like, okay,
Oh,
Triss, and then like the gay dudes.
Can't forget Tall.
Tall. Yeah, I almost forgot Tall, actually.
So Nick, Nora, Caroline, in parentheses, the gays, and Tall. Gotcha.
There you go.
Listen, they got names, but they're just exclusively ultra gay through the entire movie.
It's just like not even like a personality trait. They're just like
No.
they're just like what do
Okay.
you call it? Like stock character.
I mean, kind of. You're not far off. There's three of them. There's the two guys that are actually a part of the band. There's the Asian guy and like the non-Asian guy, and then they both meet a third guy who is just like known as Buff Dude, even
Yeah.
though he's really not all that buff
And
through the
it
whole
was
thing.
it was real disappointing because like when Michael Cera meets him at the bar, Michael's just like, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, "Anything you want it to be." And like he could have just said something like, "Okay, you're celery." And that would have been the joke, but he just kind of like sits there and it's like, it's being weird.
What bugged me about that was it's not even like an attempt at portraying a gay character. It's literally they watched an episode of Queer Eye and were like, that's it.
I guess I don't know. They're all just like you said, kind of stock characters to me. None of them. The Asian guy comes back for a couple scenes and he's got some things going on, but aside from that, they're really just kind of I
They're
don't know.
almost-
They're there.
Yeah, they're queer. They're here. It's fine. They're kind of like the in-betweeners, really, because like they kind of facilitate the movement of a lot of characters because their van is like this magical traveling device.
Yeah. It's A to B plot points. Thank you.
Yeah, they have this van. I mean, of course, they're in a band, so they have a van to put all the gear in, but it sort of ends up being like the vehicle for a lot of what goes on. The vehicle being story terms, not the actual vehicle that, you drive in.
This is a screenwriting 101, by the way.
But yeah, so Nora sees Triss there and is, they have a little bit of back and forth. They're, I guess, friends, sort of like frenemies, this kind of thing. But Caroline is friends with them both, and Triss is just kind of like making fun of Nora, who is played by Kat Dennings, as well as her boobs. And she's getting a little bit aggressive, a little bit passive aggressive toward Nora. Oh, you're alone again. Sucks to be you. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, I am here with a guy. Let me just go find him. I'll be right back.
Now, just quickly, Triss or whatever. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like she was a little too cunty. Like we don't even know like what happened between these women, but like she's really sharp, Kat Dennings, for whatever reason, and I feel like it's just like a little too much bullying for the situation. Like I just don't understand.
Yeah. It's passive aggressive with ultra emphasis on the aggressive.
Yeah.
It's just like high school girls being catty. I don't know.
Man, it was fucking intense because I even felt bad. I was, because these are supposed to be friends that kind of pick at each other and she can't handle it. But this is like straight bullying.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like the way she just kind of folds under that bit of pressure mixed with Michael Cera, they're just both just kind of like, I don't know, like negative energy for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that they just kind of like when put together, they suck the energy out of it. They're like a black hole of it. Are they energy vampires?
Ooh.
Oh no, he's just like a Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss, but he's just like, hey, I'm a vampire.
Boo-hoo. Oh, boo-hoo.
The boo-hoo.
But yeah, Nora's just like wanders up to Michael Cera, Nick, and is like, hey, just go with it. Just pretend to be my boyfriend for like 5 minutes. I gotta shut this bitch up.
Yeah. Michael Cera had the same reaction I did when she asked him to be his boyfriend for like 5 minutes. I was just like, what? And he was like, what? Yeah, like, what is this? What's happening?
You want to talk about the awkwardness? At first, I was not into this movie. And I'm not going to say it's anywhere near Spring Breakers for me, especially in that weird twisty vibe. But by the end, it's become so awkward. By the end, it's become so awkward that I found it honestly adorable.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say like after a while, like the cuteness kind of wore off for me. So like by the end, I think I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was just like, oh, Jesus, just fuck already. Just
Like, it
fuck
took
the
me so long
awkwardness
to
out.
get into it that by the time it finally happened, I was like, all right, I guess. Like, that's how I felt at the end of the movie. I had a smile. I said, okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's very okay, I guess.
Well, there you have it.
But anyways, this whole plot is now Triss is jealous of Nora, who secretly had a crush on Nick, and things are working out. They jump in the van, they take off to go find Fluffy or some such nonsense, And Triss doesn't like that this girl, who I guess in her mind is beneath her, has left with her man. And we get side plot.
Yeah, she is evidently beneath her, but she's got like a famous dad or something. That's just like allusion to here or there. But also something that we didn't talk about is Nora hadn't met Nick up until this point in time, even though she was friends with his ex for a period of time and had, I guess, collected several of his mixes that he had made for her. Just because she didn't want him, she was just like, yeah, I'll take him. I love these things. So she already had that sort of like musical compatibility at least going on. And, you know, in 2008 at 23, that's really all you need. Oh, she's not even 23. It's 17. Even better.
Oh, great. So now she's just like a single divorced mom and they're just like fucking off somewhere. Cool, neat.
Well, they kind of stretch that idea of the music being the thing and that's all you really need, blah, blah. And they get that big life speech later about the Beatles and just want to hold your hand. And again, there's moments in here where you go, this is cute. I like this. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into some other shit and you just kind of stare at the ceiling for a minute.
Yeah, that scene that you're talking about, the I want to hold your hand speech, like it's a little bit, but I feel like it is one of the few like genuine moments in this, despite it being kind of not fitting.
I'll give you that, like that little bit where they try to explain, you know, like how this all kind of fits together, like how this can work, you know, with just music. But it's like immediately interrupted just with like really bad just dialogue. Like, hey, I'm making a joke to make a light of the situation. Ha 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 ha. And then Michael Cera's just like, yeah, man, I'm awkward too.
There's a lot of bad dialogue in this. I'm a big fan of dialogue, and there's a lot of bad dialogue in this. And that could be just for the sake of, you know, kids being awkward, but it's a little bit too awkward.
Yeah. Like, I know the movie is really trying to, like, force the sweet on me, but I'm just like, man, I don't really like either of these people.
Okay, now, we're talking about hating someone, so this is Michael Cera, so I was struggling the whole time to ever feel anything for him. And, again, that may be one of the reasons why, by the end, I was okay with how it went. I was just sitting there thinking about him dying horribly in a Hugo crash.
Goodness.
I don't think that Hugo can get up to a speed high enough to where he would die horribly.
If you die in that car, you go to hell.
If you die in the car, you die for real.
God damn it.
But okay, Caroline is drunk. Nick is like, all right, I'll take you guys home. Let's get in the Yugo. Let's go. Car breaks down. The gays to the rescue. All right, let's.
That happens a lot. They're like the magical gays.
They have like the mystery machine, except the mystery is, I don't know. Never mind.
What the band's name's gonna be?
Oh yeah, good point. Because there's like a chunk of this movie, not a big chunk, where it's like goes back to the fellas and like arguing with each other, and it's like, so what's our band name? I don't know, Dixon stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
For
there's
real,
a few
like, sex reference. It's got to be there. Like my band can only be a sex reference.
Well, they're a queercore band, so they're trying to come up with something that represents who they are. You know, this gay sort of punk band. They want to be the jerk-offs. Shit sandwich.
Okay, shout out to the Spinal Tap reference with the shit sandwich thing. I'll give them that.
All right, but at this moment, I guess the Asian fellow hops into the car and is like, hey, let me give you a little pep talk so you can, you know, go after this sweet little girl. And then buff guy just takes it upon himself to fix the Yugo. Meanwhile, the third gay guy sits in the van and is like, hey, you need a different bra.
Now, we're talking about this bra scene like this was supposed to be her grand makeover. It's whatever. It's it's what comes after that blew my mind. Just take care of my friend. It looks like somebody, you know, that's a raper van. And the gay dudes are like, oh, don't worry. If anyone gets raped in here, it's going to be a man. Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was so blasé too. It's just like, you're like, oh, okay, I guess. But
Yeah,
I'm surprised
no.
like it got that far, because like, you know, what's her name's drunk. She gets thrown into a van, and the Kat Dennings gets like redressed by a bunch of strangers, and she's just cool with everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly what you just said just happened. They're like, hey, wait, you guys go find Fluffy. We're going to take your drunk friend home, who we've never met before in our life, but she is super drunk.
It's like, hey, don't worry, we didn't even ask for an address or anything. We're just going to take her away.
Yeah, you kids have fun.
okay, we will. We're going to be Uber before Uber and let people bang in the back because we're both too socially awkward to say, hey, don't fuck in my car.
Okay, that was the one joke that had me kind of like laughing because this couple, like mid fuck, are just like squeezing into this Yugo. He's like, please, no, I'm not a taxi. Please
I'm not a
don't get out
taxi,
of my
sir.
car."
I assure you, I'm not a taxi.
Yeah, and they're just like going to fucking town in the back, and they're just like, so, the Beatles.
He's like, oh, cramp. And then the lady reaches up and is stroking Michael Cera's ear from the back seat.
That was pretty good, yeah.
By the way, the guy, I don't know if you guys noticed, that's Seth Meyers.
Oh, was it? Well, that's
Yeah,
the
that was-
funniest thing he's ever done.
I like Seth Meyers, but definitely an unexpected cameo.
Anyways, Nora's got to take a piss. They drop these people off, and she finds a clue for Fluffy. And in the meantime, fucking old Caroline wakes up thinking she was kidnapped.
Caroline.
Takes off running down the street, screaming, top of her lungs, and no one pays attention. I love it.
Back to the Yugo car, there's like one bit of dialogue that's both, like, I know it's exactly what they're going for, but it's a bit of dialogue that I just couldn't help but find cringe from both of them. Michael Cera's like, hey, what now? You want to get a drink? And she's like, I don't really drink. I don't either. Oh my God, are you straight edge like me? Like almost like mocking him. And then he's just like, I don't subscribe to any label. And she just like rolls his eyes at him. Like, I don't know if that's dumb or I'm really into that or both, but it's bad.
It's a hard read for sure.
A hard read, yeah. It kind of feels that way, especially like when they deliver dialogue. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like they're not totally into the material or like they don't know how to use their faces. But I feel like, especially in Kat Dennings' case, like when she's trying to, like, you know, to speak, she's just like very, just like, and then Michael Cera just like, what? Fucking Total Recall.
Just pulling out her own mouth. But yeah, like they start talking in the car, and Michael Cera, being Michael Cera, has to lose the girl. He brings up Triss, and she gets him with like, I ain't a goodie bag at your pity party. And then she throat chops his shit. I fucking was dying.
Yeah, no, what had me laughing in that scene was like after that, he's like, you're just jealous. And she's like, I'm not freaking jealous or something like that, and storms off. And there's a guy in the background that you don't even see who's like, yeah, dude, she's not jealous.
Oh yeah, it's like random New Yorkers coming by, just like, yeah, the city's just your audience, lol.
Yeah, and that's one of those, like, this movie, as I mentioned earlier, is as much about New York City as it is about any of these guys, and just like floating around trying to find that spark for the evening, you know, where's the hot show at?
Yeah.
And I guess like the band that they're trying to find, I forgot the word they're called, like Fluffy or something like
Where's
that.
Fluffy?
Yeah, it is kind of cool how like there's this band who's very sought after, and they just sprinkle clues across the city, and to whomever finds them, they find them whatever, they get to go to their show. But like just the way they have Kat Dennings find like that little piece to kind of like, you know, further the plot later on in the movie, she just has to go take that leak, and like it's just on the wall, it's haphazardly.
Yeah, the couple that they drop off is actually going to the Bowery Ballroom, a famous venue in New York. So she's like, you know, hold on right here. I'm going to go piss. And it just happens to be written in the stall.
Yeah,
Just-
like
Here's Fluffy.
I know the movie has to movie and, you know, has a runtime of about 90 minutes with the credits, but like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to see more of like the puzzle pieces coming together, that kind of thing. Like that could have
for
been
sure.
that could have been the subplot, not necessarily like Sweet Caroline fucking drunk off her ass in the middle of Metro somewhere.
You want Saw happening in the background.
Dude, that's
these
exactly what I
clues to
said.
go see this public execution.
I think we've got a great idea for a film going here.
Right. Dude, I had some Saw flashbacks because we flash sideways to like Caroline just like stuck in that Metro place or that bus stop. And like she drops her phone in the toilet, she drops her gum in the toilet, and the toilet's full of shit, piss, and her puke. And like there's that moment where like dun 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 dun. It's like, no, don't fucking do it.
Don't do it.
That did make me kind of like wince a little bit because she gets her phone, whatever, fine, and she gets her fucking gum back out. And there's that moment where she looks at the gum and the gum looks right back at her, and you're just like, God damn it, don't you fucking, oh fuck, I
And-
hate it.
And this gum keeps coming back. Like every time you think it's gone, it just comes right back.
It works through 3 characters.
Yeah,
Oh wait, was that the same gum that Kat Dennings had like at the end when they met at that restaurant?
absolutely.
And
Disgusting.
then Michael Cera ends up with
Yeah. But just a quick aside, you were talking about those kind of clues. Back in the day, whenever like one of the big things about Bonnaroo was like, who's going to be on the lineup? You know, we're going to drop clues here and there and there. You know, it's going to be like a puzzle. You guys can figure it out. There might be like fucking, I don't know. Anyway, one of the clues just happened to be staged in a bathroom in a bar in Morgantown while
Oh,
I was
wow.
up there. Yeah, and I retrieved it, took a picture, posted it online for, you know, the masses to analyze.
So what did the clue wind up, leading to?
I have I don't remember. Like I probably knew at the time, but it was probably
Oh
Like-
man, you could have got 4 front row tickets and backstage passes, and you didn't get to leave your information.
no, it's just like the clue was just like a note written in a bathroom, and it was basically like a riddle in a bathroom.
Mm-mm.
So I just went and took a picture of it and was like, yeah, see if you all can figure this out. I don't know what this fucking means.
it was secretly an escape room and there was someone trapped in the toilet.
Oh no! It's like one of those rabbit hole things when there's like a long squiggly arrow, and the rabbit hole is just like a hole in the stall.
Oh no, that's a glory hole, not a rabbit hole.
But is there a breadstick coming out of it?
Is
that-
infinite?
Get this
Is
meat
that-
Oh
sauce.
no! Nick and Nora's infinite breadsticks.
Yes. Okay.
That was a good
Anyway,
tangent.
she's at the terminal, and they miss her by a split second because they
Of
hear
course.
music. They assume that she's already made it to the party, and they're going to head to the party as well. Unbeknownst to them, Caroline is secretly staggering out of the bathroom, literally 10 feet away.
Yeah, for
the-
sure.
The clue that Kat Dennings' character got was that Where's Fluffy might be at Brooklyn Pool, which I guess is not a pool, but a bar.
Sure. And like a bunch of people are there too, so like there's clues all over the place. So
Yeah,
like, okay,
and-
this is it.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, she's probably already there. Let's just get down there and see. I mean, we'll do a drive-by.
Okay, so first of all, that's some awful logic. Like, I know they want to go see this band, but there's clearly someone out there, out of their mind drunk, stumbling
Mhm.
around the city, and they're like, oh, she's drunk. Oh, yeah, she just went to this party. That's okay. Let's just
She'll be
assume
aight.
that. Yeah, because they just want to go there anyway, so it's like, all right, this is the perfect excuse.
Listen, it's another weekend for Caroline. They're all used to it. We're the
Oh.
strangers.
Sweet Caroline.
Something I brushed over and I didn't mean to. One of the scenes at the terminal made me smile so big.
Yeah.
There's a character, he's sitting there with a turkey sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
She sees it. She's like, "Can I have that?" His face is just 100% brilliance of like, "Fuck, let me have my sandwich." But then she just reaches in and gets it.
No, like she had like a really sappy story, but like, oh, you know what, all this would happen and all this stuff, and I would go home and I would just have the best turkey sandwich in the world. And then the camera follows the guy's eyes looking at his food, hands down, it's a turkey fucking sandwich. And he's like, God damn it, I've worked my ass off all day and waited for this fucking thing, and this dumb bitch is giving me this shit.
Yeah, like, despite how, like, whatever I am about this movie, I do enjoy this scene. Caroline, if she is not drunk, she plays a really good drunk here. And this guy is just like a character actor. I don't know what his name is, but I remember him from, like, everything. I feel like he was in, like, Pineapple Express and all of those things.
You know what? Now that I think about it, maybe like this whole time he's kind of like doing the math in his head. Like, okay, she's drunk as shit. She's not bad looking. And I do have a turkey sandwich.
Look, his face says, "I want to keep the sandwich."
Yeah, like, my thought is, fuck, I'm on my lunch break. I don't want to have to deal with this. Like, I know it's like 3 a.m., but there are probably restaurants open in that station, like, all night long. It's New York.
Yeah, probably.
Gotta get old New York slice from good old Sbarro.
Ooh. And they got them roasted red potatoes. Ooh, sponsor us, Sbarro.
Give me that big ass slice.
Put them 2 slices up on the glass.
Yeah,
Now-
put them on the glass.
Now, they're going to a bar and there's a giant line, but they somehow get in instantly. And of course, Michael Cera has to be like,
Wow. How do we do that? Wow.
and she's like, "Oh, I'm the famous daughter of of a person, but I'm not going to tell you because it's important to the plot later." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll just be over here cucking while you make out with that guy."
like she breezes past like the bodyguard and it's like, hey, everybody come in. And then like as soon as Michael Cera walks in, the guy that's right there in front of the line is like, what the fuck? You let Michael Cera in over me? What?
Yeah,
That's
no
how
kidding.
it be, though.
And he gets in and he's just like, who are you? She's just like glosses over it. Like, I'm somebody's daughter. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna, like you said, I'm just gonna go over here and make out with this guy who was apparently her like on again, off again boyfriend for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is right after they share like a supposed touching moment of this flirty, nerdy dancing, and then suddenly she's just pulled away, made out with, and completely cool with it.
At this point, she's not even a person. She's just like, I don't know, fuck doll. Just like yoink.
She is a pretty girl who is there and has no will of her own.
At least I didn't have to watch him fucking dancing, quote unquote. Like I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, that was also an awkward scene. Like, I think the point was for it to be awkward, but it was awkward nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, it's a bait and switch anyways. Fluffy's not there. Some weird rapper guy with a fucking amazing super fan.
Are you Randy?
Do I make
No,
you
I'm Rick.
No,
Pepperoni.
that's the name of the band. It's Are You Randy? And I think it's, I don't know, they sound like they're putting out like covers of some old Chromeo demos or something. It's not good.
He's fake MC Chris.
I mean, at this stage in the movie, it's just kind of whatever. Like, it's a little bit of filler.
I like the little back and forth in this scene between Michael Cera and who's the guy, Tal or whatever his name is, played by Jay. I don't know his name. He's the guy that's always in movies with like Seth Rogen.
James
Just
Franco?
Yeah.
Spring
Other
break.
Other than James Franco. Let me look up his name real quick. Baruchel, is that how you pronounce it?
Sure.
He was in like This Is the End and scrolling through some other things.
Don Phonics sponsor.
I mean, the dude he plays is like total greaseball and everything. He's like, hey, baby, this is the bill. Get that shit out of here. Take care of that, toots.
Yes, it's totally like a 50s. Yeah, bippity boppity boop. You take care of that doll. I'll slap you on the ass. I'll be over here. Hey.
And like she walks away, you see him in the background, just like fucking fist bump. It's like, I fucking got her to do it. See that shit?
Got it. But like the little back and forth that I was talking about is like, oh hey, Michael Cera, you're in that band, that gay band. What's it called? We're gay. And he's just like, we're not all gay. And he's like, no, I think you're all gay. Hey, yeah, your band's one arm short of a Def Leppard tribute band.
Dude, that's a solid joke.
It is.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cera, of course, is just like, hey, well, you're 2 dicks short of having 2 dicks, dude.
So this whole movie, they're joking about the name of the band, and I was very disappointed they didn't come up with like Queers for Fears.
Oh man, dude, absolutely.
But I think the one that they end up settling on after Kat Dennings' character gets a little bit, I don't know, she gets a little bit upset at something. I don't know what it is. Calls someone a fistful of assholes, and it's like, that's it. That's the one.
The magic moment.
Everybody remembers their first magic moment with a fistful of assholes.
Oh no. But of course, with the bait and switch situation, this isn't fluffy or whatever it is. Everybody leaves, and like the room is completely empty except for like the super fan just doing all kinds of backflips, living it up, and that one dude on stage.
This was what, like the second stage that they've been to, third stage that they've been to tonight? Well, what I've got here today is from 818 Brewing Company out of San Fernando Valley, California. This is first stage, West Coast style IPA, 6.9% ABV. Very nice. Give me just a moment. I got to get a paper towel. Not like it was last time, but I do need a paper towel.
You ejaculated on yourself?
That's not a no.
That isn't a no. That's a respecting the right to remain silent.
I plead in the fifth.
Yeah, he's just going to plead the fifth on that one. I like it.
Plead the fifth.
If
Yeah, shit fell. Good stuff. What?
I went to take a big whiff of the beer and I accidentally like stuck my nose in the foam and inhaled.
Oh no.
Oh, that was all on me.
Rip in peace.
Sir, you can't breathe water.
Bet.
Bet.
Fucking
All right, so this is a West Coast style IPA. It smells definitely like a West Coast style IPA. Green, hoppy, not super resiny, not super fruity, very middle of the road, very like classic West Coast style IPA. Tastes very much the same, classic West Coast style IPA. A little bit of bitterness, no fruitiness, no resiny. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. This is a completely fine, completely drinkable, completely average, completely forgettable beer, just like this movie.
Ooh,
Wow.
big oof. But you know what? Speaking of forgetting stuff, Michael Cera can't forget about his ex.
No, sir. And she can't apparently forget about him because she hops in a cab to follow the gays after they gave fucking Michael Cera a life lesson. They were like, hey, man, some people just want to hold your hand and be in love. And he's like, you know what? Maybe you're right. I love Triss. And it's just like, God damn it.
Yeah. And she follows them around the town. Like, you know, they stop and she has to like stop at this like bar or whatever because they have like a little bit of a clue that Caroline was like puking there or whatever. And she follows them into the place and starts harassing her some more. Like, what the fuck?
That
I don't know.
chick goes so hard on her. She's like, listen, I don't, because she knows how to hurt this girl, and she knows Michael Cera's character's personality traits. And she goes, man, you know, you just don't want to bring him down any lower after this because I know you can't have an orgasm.
That's such a fucking low blow. Like,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively. Like, I don't understand where they even came from. Like, that's like the, you know, the one right hook she had just like to put her in her like emotional place. I was like, what the fuck? She said that out loud? Now that
Yeah.
Asian fella knows and everything.
Word on the street is you've never had an orgasm, and, you know, I don't want Michael Cera to get hurt anymore because I know he's not going to change that.
Ooh. That's actually, she just pulled a strike. I'm going to give that to her.
Meanwhile, like, they're in line at this bodega, ready to check out, or I don't even know what they're buying. But she's like, I've had an orgasm. I've probably had like 100 of them. How would I ever know? And this random, like,
Russian dude?
yeah, this Moscow-looking motherfucker behind him's like, oh, you'd know.
She knows.
Oh, Christ. Fucking, it's fucking Rasputin back there just hanging out in the
Yeah.
drugstore.
I wrote Rasputin in my notes. That is headcanon. That's actual Rasputin because the motherfucker can't die.
Yeah. And this is how we get our next clue as to where Caroline might be. She says that she needs to follow Naked Jesus and something about Christmas. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, it's Deck the Balls Gay Christmas year-round show.
Well, no, first it's like, oh, she must be at a church. Let's go to a church. So they drive to this, I don't know, the
yeah.
first church that they find. And Michael Cera goes up and is like trying to get in. Oh, nope, must not be here. Got to turn around and go.
That's what I was going to say. They pull up to an Andy Samberg cameo for whatever reason. Like, this
Yep.
doesn't push the movie along or whatever. It's just for the joke that he's like, hey, I really like you, fella. You should follow me back into my alley. And he just runs away.
You're like my
Hey.
little canary in skinny jeans.
Hey, little bird. Hey, little bird. You ever hook up with a dog?
Hey, man, yeah, you in the DP? Spring break forever.
Hey,
brag.
I just like you so much.
You see, it's the same thing.
Oh, man.
Run away, little canary.
Listen here, little canary. You're going to fly the coop. But these other two birds, they going to stay because they different.
Different. There's like a couple contractions in there.
I think if you mash up this and Spring Breakers, you could end up with a pretty solid film. It'd be weird
it's like
as hell,
she's
but-
running away from Michael Cera to be with James Franco.
And then fucking Triss just shoots James Franco in the back of the head. I don't know. It just seems like something she'd do.
Oh, no, she'd be too busy dancing on the hood while he played Every Time by Britney Spears.
Yeah,
Oh, Christ.
doing that dance on the hood of his, what even was it? Like a Camaro?
Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
98 Camaro with the
Like a-
racing stripes and the wing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it would just be the Yugo with the racing stripes and him just looking exactly the same inside of that.
God, man, that fucking car. It's the kind of car you see on the road. You're like, yeah, I'm going to turn that bitch over.
It looks like fucking Lemongrab's head.
So this is when the movie kind of sort of starts to wind itself up a little bit. They go to this Merry Christmas balls thing at a gay bar. I don't know what it is. She pops out of a Christmas tree. We found Caroline. Everything's good to go now. Let's go find Fluffy.
Just real fast. I love how that was their solution to this drunk bitch crawling into this place. They're like, what do we do? Make that bitch the tree.
Dude, I lost it whenever she popped out and says, I'm a tree on Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Nora. Hey, Hugo found us.
Good times.
Because
Yeah.
Michael Cera is just Yugo.
Yep,
Dude,
yep.
he's got handy wipes because he likes to keep the night on his pants.
Oh yeah, that was some bad dialogue too. They get back in the van and like she starts to like cough up a little bit on her hands, and I guess she gives Kat Dennings her gum too, and is just like, "Hey, I have this handy wipe. I have it here because we got Chinese food 2 weeks ago, and I never wash my jeans."
What the fuck?
It's just immediately like, I don't wash my pants. And she's like, you know what? We can go to college 1 hour away from each other. And he's like, all right. But Triss is fucking awaiting at the Yugo with the power play.
Yeah, she's just there like hanging out on the car, and everybody in the van's just like, "Hey, listen, Michael Cera, don't."
Yeah, it's just a big collective no. But he's like, maybe I should just go ahead and end this. Let me go figure this out. You have fun with my gay friends. I'm going to go deal with this. Meanwhile, everyone gives like a collective sigh, like, oh.
Well, I actually thought this was going to be a moment of like his realization, like, "Hey, I have to deal with this. Uno momento, por favor." I thought he was going to go out and just like be a man, and be like, "Get the fuck off my car, you cunt. I got shit
Nope.
to do." And he goes up there and be like, "Hey, I know we've been through a lot, and I would like you to be my dick garage again."
Simping so hard, the return. Fucking
Uh,
return
I mean-
of the simp.
He doesn't quite go that hard, but she's like, hey, it's late. You're going to give me a ride, right? Yeah,
Dude,
just
it's not
give me
that
a ride home.
it's not that she's trying hard. It's that he doesn't even say goodbye. He fucking ditches Nora like a douche.
true, very true. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
everybody else in the van when they pulled off, they're just like, "Fuck, dude. All right, we're not your parents or nothing."
And that triggers fucking Nora to fall back on her, I guess, side piece, old Tall.
Yeah, but like she doesn't even like last long in that situation. Like they go to that dinner or whatever, and they're like ordering all this expensive shit. They make her try to pay the bill or something. And he's like, "Hey, make sure you add a couple more zeros." See you later, fucker.
Yeah, they go to this, I guess it's like a club, some kind of a club, and they're ordering all this stuff, and he whips out his brand new CD, Azrael. It brings the Jew fire.
Oh, dude, the cover for that album was fucking legit.
The cover for that album that's a war crime.
That's what made me laugh. It was like a Star of David with some fire and their dumb Photoshop faces in front.
It was
But
rough.
yeah, he's like, hey, you're my girl, right? You're gonna show this CD to your daddy, right?
And then
she's
she's
just
like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're doing."
she should have seen that, I don't know, 3 years ago, if that's how he's been this long.
Yeah, but at least she wakes up. She's like, oh man, this is a bad idea. There is someone I care about. I may have blown it, or he may have blown it. Here I am in my doldrums once again. And she kind of wanders away. And we cut to Nick. And he's in the middle of a 80s music video while she's out there dancing to Pour Some Sugar on Me.
No, it's
no.
you sexy thing.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. No, we cut to him in the middle of like a midlife crisis because like she is like hitting on him super hard. She like straight up like puts his hand on her boob and stuff, and he's just like, "Okay,
That's a titty.
all right,
That
is
is
a
a
titty."
titty. I hadn't prepared for this all evening.
It's just like the control room, and his mind's just going crazy right now.
You
She's
know,
willing to go further. Go, go, go.
you wouldn't have to get over me if you got under me.
Dang, dude.
Thanks, Riley Reed. Say it again.
But he's too busy having like an existential crisis. So like she's in front of his car, and wind out of nowhere, something,
Yes.
and he's just like staring into space, and he's just like, things must happen.
Yeah.
This isn't
Now-
that thing. And just fucking leaves her there.
Can we
Now-
please discuss the wind? Please.
I guess.
Like she is just
It's
struggling
whatever.
so hard to look sexy while she is being just tossed
Bombarded.
about.
Now, yeah, I want to talk about this little dance scene because it's one of the few that I actually remembered from the first time that I'd seen this. Okay, first of all, I find the actress very attractive. That is a very good looking girl. She looks so comically awkward dancing. She has like the flattest cardboard ass known to man. And she's trying to like booty bounce out there. And she's
Yes.
crawling up the hood of the car. It looks really awkward.
I was fucking rolling because the whole time that wind is just roaring at her and her hair is in her face and in her mouth and blowing off the screen.
Yeah, like that one in particular where like she's walking back up towards the car and her hair's just like whap right in her fucking mouth and she's like, eh.
Dude, I'll say this. I can understand being like, no, this isn't where I want to be. I want to be with Nora. I can get that. But he ditches her downtown, basically at like the edge of the river by herself with zero way to be anywhere else.
Oh, dude, you know what? You're right because like he even took her phone.
Yeah.
Oh, he had her phone? By the way, there's something about to come up that I got a question. Like when Nick and Nora hook back up again at the diner, which is going to happen here in just a minute. How does Nora have Nick's phone?
It's in his coat. She's wearing his coat.
The Salvatore jacket.
Okay. All right.
Now, speaking of that diner, I drew a little heart on here because this phone call he makes to her is genuinely sweet and a great idea. Like, I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, this is, okay, I like that.
You mean the bit where he's just like, hey, listen, well, he's talking like third person. It's like, hey, you know, I heard you was this guy that kind of like left you in the dust, but like that was the biggest mistake of his life, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And tell Nick I called.
And she's like, what the fuck? That was Nick. Who is this?
And then he's like, we're having shawarma? We're the Avengers now.
Ooh, shawarma.
I could smell the salted brisket.
Yeah, and she's in this diner. I don't know if you guys noticed, but she's just in this diner like carbo loading. Not carbo loading, but she has like several plates of meat in front of her. She's just going to town on it.
Look,
that's
man,
not the
like,
only thing she went to town on. We got to count Becca Wiener. 3 campfire light nights.
Very passion filled. Yeah, we get a little.
It was so good.
We get a little admission that Nora had not even kissed anyone other than Tal, whatever his name is, until tonight when she just like haphazardly kissed Michael Cera, aside from Becca Wiener when she was 13.
But that's okay. That doesn't matter to like the little waitress that was serving her. She's like, you know what? You need a couple more plates of meat.
I bet it does matter to that waitress. She's going to go home and have some thoughts.
Yeah. But like they have like a little heart-to-heart moment, and because Tal abuses, not really abuses, but uses Nora, and she's like, well, I've been ignored for such a long time. It's nice to feel special. And that's kind of cute, except for that Michael Cera just kind of sits there like a bump on a log and doesn't really have a retort.
No, he tries to be cute with his like little isms and like, you know, tries to crack a joke in the third person. And she's like, ah ha ha ha, I'm abused.
Thank you for laughing at my pain. Let's be somewhere else. I'll drive.
Yeah. And it turns out that place is Electric Ladyland Studios, the place where like Jimi Hendrix like actually founded and like a ton of famous artists have recorded. And I want to say that the reveal to this is really cool, but like, man, Michael Cera just like eats the fun out of this immediately.
Yeah, like as soon as they walk in, he's like, do you have any idea who's recorded here? Led Zeppelin, David Bowie? And she's just like, I have the keys. Of course I know who recorded here.
Yeah, like the pictures on the wall, man. Look, there's Celine Dion and everything.
Yeah, there's my dad with Alanis Morissette.
You can tell that it's her because there's like scratches down his back or some shit from that one song. I don't know.
Oh, then there's like another picture with him and David Coulier.
Oh no.
They're all about Dave Coulier. Then fucking Michael Cera goes down and is like, I got something made of wood. Wood? That's a Full House reference for you, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I want to say this. They sit down on a fucking couch and he finger bangs her for all of maybe 20 seconds and makes her come. Congratulations, bro. Like, that's some pro level shit.
Well, no, he had her all warmed up talking about that like Jewish philosophy stuff, you know.
Oh my god, that was I hated that. I hated that so much. It was just like, you know, you accidentally turn the channel to like the History Channel at like 11 o'clock at night. And it's like, by the way, Judaism.
It was so I'm 14 and Jewish and this is deep.
Oh my god. So Yamaka's aside, Michael Cera diddles around her Electric Ladyland. She has a big O. And of course, you know, that's the moment. I guess they realize that they are perfect for each other because, fuck, he's the key to her life.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Like, all you need is like 30 seconds of playful banter, diddle around, finger bang bang right into her heart.
And they made a sex tape.
Yeah, like the whole time this is going on, we don't see a whole lot of what is really going on. It just browses around. You see like the needles jumping up because they're in a recording studio and he was gonna like lay down a song that he wrote or something. And like the whole time he's doing his thing, we're just browsing around like all of this musical gear porn.
Like, I get it. Like, you got a chance to actually film in the studio. This is historically important to culture as well. It's just kind of like, oh, Michael Cera's talking about Judaism. Here we go.
Yeah, this movie had a budget of $10 million. One of it went to Sarah, one of it went to Kat Dennings, and the rest of it just went for 15 minutes of studio time at Electric Lady.
Oh, shit. You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
They have the big reveal. Like, you're supposed to be shocked that, of course, Scott Pilgrim dumps whatever the fuck her name is, and one of the broke girls dumps whatever the fuck his name was, and they unite and they skip over Fluffy to be together, and it's beautiful and all these things. I guess.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful and whatever.
Yeah, that's sort of like the finish of the movie. She gets a phone call that's like, hey, we got a clue on the radio. We figured out where it's at. It's going to be at this rooftop concert. And by the way, it's morning now. This has been going on all night. So I guess Where's Fluffy is coming on at like 6 a.m. But yeah, rooftop concert. They all get there. You know, the two parties that had been sort of on and off again are now off. Michael Cera and Kat Dennings are on. And just as Where's Fluffy is about to come on the stage to, you know, like 200 excited fans and 8 million people who just want them to shut the fuck up, they decide, let's just go home. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, and like, I get it. You know, it's supposed to be like a very fairy tale ending. It's like, oh, it's not necessarily about the destination when you're in love. You know, it's about the journey and about being together. It's supposed to be sweet, charming, and all that stuff. But it's just it leaves you with like, I guess.
Yeah, a whole lot of I guess. Let me tell you, my biggest gripe, my biggest qualm with this movie is the soundtrack. For a movie that is so ingrained in like indie rock culture, you know, wanting to hop from club to club to find the next like hottest indie rock band in New York, like the soundtrack needed to be really good. And it wasn't. It was completely forgettable. There's a couple of acts on here that I know of. Devendra Banhart, We Are Scientists. There's a Vampire Weekend track that I didn't even notice. But they could have done so much, especially if they went, like, let's say 6 years earlier and really hit that when it was on top of things. Like, get songs by The Strokes, get songs by, like, Interpol, Yeah, Yeah, Yeahs, get all of those things. Like, that's what they fucking needed, and they just whiffed on that big. This could have been Garden State. Garden State's not an outstanding movie or anything, but it's got a soundtrack that's going to live on for fucking ever. This doesn't have that. This is going to be forgotten as soon as I stop talking about it.
Ooh. Now, I'm not particularly that heated about it, but like, this movie is a total whatever. Like I mentioned earlier, like, they try to hit on like the fairy tale aspect of having like a really adventurous night. You know, all things could happen, who knows what. But it doesn't really amount to too much, and I feel like the awkwardness is way too thick in a way to where it's just like, man, I don't like either one of these people, and like, if they do wind up banging it out and getting together, it's kind of whatever. It doesn't really mean anything to me. And I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me because there's nothing really there of value. So there's that.
To me, it's cliched fun. I've seen this movie a million times. I've seen much better versions and I've seen much worse versions. By the end, though, with the two title characters, the stars themselves, I was happy and was smiling by the end, going, okay, they're cute. The awkward wore on me in a positive light by the end, but I will say it's not a movie that I think I would sit down and watch on the regular. And if it was on TNT or something like in the background, yes.
You know what? Like, I've got one more little gripe. one teensy little thing. The name of the movie is Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. That can kind of tell you right now, even from the beginning, these two are going to get together in the end. The cover of the movie is them together at the very end. There is no, there's no conflict. There's conflict that happens in the movie, but there's never a time where you doubt that in the end, everything's going to come together and it's going to be all cool. There's no doubt there.
So you're trying to say, really, at the end of the movie, we needed one of these characters to have, stage 3 or 4 cancer to get things moving.
I was leaning more towards, I think that you want Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Man, that movie fucked me up. But anyways.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon so you know next time Fluffy's playing.
Get out there. Follow us on all of our different social medias. We got that Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We're on YouTube. We got Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So there's no reason that you're not listening to us out there. If you don't give us the chance, if you don't listen, we'll just come to your house and throw up in your freezer.
Yep.